Jason with Chicago News, and we've got the 2016 Jeep Cherokee Trailhawk. A couple weeks ago we had a t-shirt giveaway, and since then Pokemon Go has gone crazy. So we want to know, what Pokemon does this look like? Best guess gets a t-shirt. All kidding aside, we know that you could compare the front to a Pokemon, but overall this is a great looking vehicle. It really shows its off-road intentions with these all-terrain tires, the red tow hooks on the front and back, and just the overall stance. It really wants to go off-road. So since this thing screams off-road, we're gonna go put it through hell. If we show you all the great off-road stuff now, you're not gonna watch the whole review. So we're gonna get to a couple other things first, show the off-road later. We're always really interested in how the tailgates work. And this has obviously a power lift gate, but the buttons are down here below. You would think they would be here. There's one for lock and unlock, which is actually kind of convenient, another one to open it. Now, when you want to close it, normally you would hit the button way up here, but if you notice, this opens really tall, so they actually moved the button inside, which is actually, it took us a couple days to find, but once we did, it's really convenient. Instead of focusing on the off-road performance, we're first going to look at the on-road everyday performance, which is what you're going to use this for most of the time. So our test Jeep here has the 3.2 liter 6-cylinder, and we definitely recommend you go with that. The 2.4 liter 4-cylinder might get a little better mileage, but it really kind of struggles to pull this all-wheel drive Jeep around. Jeep really has years of experience building really amazing off-road features into their vehicles, and this is no exception. You can switch between all the different four-wheel drive modes with this center control, which has got an outer ring that goes through automatic, snow, sport, mud and snow, and even sand modes. And then you can even further do four-wheel drive low. You can do a lock of the rear differential when you're in low range. It also has hill descent control, and it has even a creep mode, which goes at 0.7 miles per hour with the car automatically handling the speed over rough terrain. Another amazing off-road feature in this Jeep is electronic roll bars. So what they do is when you're going over uneven surfaces, they can unlock the roll bars to let the wheels articulate more, but then when you're on the highway going through an off-ramp, they're connected so you get more stability as you go through the corners. So some really advanced technology that normally you'd have to modify your vehicle to get. With all this off-road capability, you might think that this would be uncomfortable to drive on the road, but quite the opposite's true. The ride is extremely comfortable, the handling is very good, and there's not even that much road noise with these tires. So as far as a balance between on-road and off-road performance, it doesn't get much better than this. As far as technology, you've got FCA's Uconnect system, which is a really good, all-around, simple to use. It's got navigation, connected apps, and even a Wi-Fi hotspot. So we're sitting at this light, and as you can hear, the engine's not running. This has got start-stop technology, so save some extra fuel when you're sitting at the light. As you can hear, it just popped back on. They've definitely taken the term soft touch materials literally. There's a really soft top of the dash here, but with contrasting stitching and some of the other aluminum colored trim that you have here, it really gives an overall nice impression of the interior here. The steering wheel's got a great feel as well. It's a nice thick rim, leather wrapped, feels good in the hands. Overall, it's just a really comfortable interior. It looks a bit luxurious without going over the top, meaning it adds to the value. They're trying to save a couple of dollars while still giving you a good experience. One of the things you would expect from a Jeep is lots of storage options, and you definitely get them here. You've got storage on the top center of the dash, in the console, center here, and the entire passenger seat flips up to expose a giant storage locker. And because of that, another way that they're saving a couple dollars is a power seat on this side. The passenger side goes for storage instead of the power seat, so not only are you getting a little value, you're getting extra storage as well. This 3.2 liter V6 has 271 horsepower. Mileage is rated at 1926. Amazingly, when we had the thing off-road all day, it averaged 15.8, even creeping up and down hills and crawling through the river. So, you know, it's not maybe the most efficient car in the world, but it's pretty quick. All right, remember earlier I said you wouldn't watch the whole review if we talked about the fun stuff first? Now we get to the fun stuff. Let's take this thing off-road. So with all these different off-road modes, we figured the best way to try them all is to pick one and try and find that obstacle to go through. The first one we're going to try here is sand and mud. So Let's get this switched over and we'll give it a try. So with the sand and mud mode, we've got to try some mud now. We saw it perform really well in the sand. So we figured the best way to try out this crawl mode is to go into a riverbank. So we kind of got stuck on this one riverbank and got a really good chance to test this out. It works really well. You don't even have to touch the brake or the throttle. It just holds it at that speed. So let's see what kind of grade we can get up. This looks like it's about 25% at least. And it's sandy, rocky trail up this hill. Let's see if we can get up this. So the first time we went up this hill, we actually forgot to lock the rear differential. It still made it up, but it was a little more challenging. And once you really got a chance to see how well that lock differential works, when you do that, the rear tires are fully connected. Normally when you're driving down the road and you go around a curve, you want the rear tires to turn at a different rate for the car to drive smoother. But when you're going up a hill like this, you don't want the inside tire to spin, so locking that rear differential really gets you up these hills. After spending the whole day at the Badlands Off-Road Park, we threw everything at this Jeep, except the only thing we couldn't do, the only thing we didn't try to do was the most advanced trail, which is really just for modified off-road vehicles. So this thing really could handle everything we could throw at it. So before we leave the park, I gotta do my two favorite things, which is to go through the giant mud hole, and then we're gonna make this Jeep disappear in a giant cloud of dust. See, I told you we could make it disappear. So what do we think of the Jeep Trailhawk? Well, first of all, the off-road capabilities are amazing. But what's really great is that the on-road performance is just as good. So it's something you can live with every day. When you want to play off-road, it'll handle anything that you throw at it. With all the great off-road features that Jeep built into this, you'd really hope they'd use a great off-road tire, and they have with these all-terrain tires. But you worry about on-road noise, highway noise. These are great. Super quiet on-road, but very capable off-road. When you want to go off-road, it'll handle just about everything you throw at it. It's not as capable as a Jeep Wrangler or as luxurious as a Grand Cherokee, but you don't hear us say this very often if you look at our other reviews. It's a great value.